My name's Kerry Brimfield. I'm the business manager at the Hive School for Girls in Gloucester. I've been here for about 3 years now, just under 3 years. I drive in from Cheltenham every day, which only takes about 15 minutes. I absolutely love my job. It's very diverse and great fun. My background is initially in banking, so that's where my finance background comes from. But thereafter, I ran my own business for 15 years, so I'm used to running a business and all the complexities around that. Back in 2003, I was on the first cohort of the Certificate of School Business Management. I'm now doing a master's degree, and that's all on school leadership. So welcome to my office, and here starts one of my days.
We're going to follow Kerry throughout her day to see the variety of areas that a business manager has to deal with.
Thank you.
From finance to facilities, it all comes under Kerry's domain.
I think the biggest change for us really is the devolvement of responsibilities to the schools. It started with the local management of schools where we had our own budgets. So of course we had to open bank accounts. And we're managing everything now, the facilities in particular, a lot of our own building projects we're managing rather than the local authorities. Oh, when I first arrived here, you can see this is the old building behind me. We had 2 very old Horsa huts in the centre, and they were literally not fit for purpose. We actually built a new building which I had to project manage from day one. So as you can see, this is the new library that we had built, part of the big project that I walked into on my first day. We had particular problems with this. This is the old part of the library. Being in the city of Gloucester, we have added complications because it's all of archaeological interest. So every time we take anything out for footings, we have the archaeologists in, and they have to go with a fine-tooth comb to see if there's anything interesting of archaeological interest. It's been great because it's enhanced the facilities enormously. As you can see, we've got a new teaching area over here. The resources in the library are second to none, which has been a huge investment for the school, but has attracted more pupils as well.
The new building also houses a sixth form area, fully equipped with computers.
They've been really good to print off work, and since you've been able to use your USB memory sticks in here as well, it means you can take stuff back from home and school really well.
It's good to just have an area to yourself where you can get on with your work, and you're less distracted than if you're working near the common room.
The majority of the facilities budgets are devolved to the school, and I have to oversee that. Of course, you collaborate with your senior leadership team. You need to know what they need for the curriculum to deliver that, and I then have to put in place the facilities to enable them to deliver the curriculum needs.
It's improved the method of teaching because it's the better layout. It's okay, everybody has their back to me, but at least I can see what they're doing. The only thing with this room is it does get very, very warm, and I think we will have to consider aircon in here as soon as possible.
So, whilst the IT investment has been beneficial, there are still a few problems to iron out. Head teacher Ava Savitsky wants to talk to Kerry about another issue.
Kerry, have you got a moment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can we talk about these PA applications that came in last week? We've obviously got some decisions that we need to make about who we're going to interview.
Yeah, certainly.
And it would be a good idea to have a look at the job description, wouldn't it, that we put together earlier?
Yeah, should we do a skills match?
It's 11 o'clock, break time for the pupils, and time for Kerry to snatch a meeting with assistant head Martin Lee.
You know, we've got to spend a third of the money on community, and staffing obviously is a big chunk of that. So I've got an idea of what the need's going to be for next year. Currently we're working with...
This is just one example of how Kerry tries to balance the budget.
The chances are we're going to have to increase contact time, and so that may well mean obviously more hours. Of course, on top of that, of course, the rates will go up.
Although our budget's going to increase by about 3.7%, we're going to be setting aside probably close to 5% for the staffing element of the language college budget anyway.
Right. We need to cut our cloth accordingly, obviously, and it means that there's less then in the pot for the other projects. So I've got an idea of what...
Well, we're coming up to budget time now, so a lot of my time is spent actually working through next year's budget. But we've had to increase the numbers of support staff because of the workforce remodelling agenda. But of course, with no additional funding, one of our largest challenges that we face is trying to find the money to be able to fund that transfer. It does mean that we have to think outside the box somewhat and try and be far more creative. The rugby club.
Thinking outside of the box, Kerry explores new fundraising ideas with Finance Officer Marion Carroll.
And perhaps have an arrangement that will benefit both of us, really, that will help us with our income generation and will perhaps enable some agencies to have a base within the community that would be able to help our locals as well.
Yes, especially with some of the halls nearby closing down, like the YMCA. They're not using their hall anymore. Perhaps we could step in and find out what lettings they had and maybe offer to take them over or something.
That's a really good idea, because there was a few sports clubs as well that were using those facilities. And of course we've got the gym and we've got the tennis courts. They may possibly even like the thought of using our sports fields.
Yes.
Because we've got the pavilion there that's out on its own, isn't it? And it's a completely secure area that we could have people using that during the weekends.
Yes, I think we ought to approach maybe the local tennis club and see if they want to use our facilities.
It's lunchtime, and Kerry wants to entice more pupils to eat the canteen food.
Well, when I first started making inquiries about the catering provision, I was informed that there were only 50 meals being eaten during the main lunchtime period, which I felt was very disappointing for a school with over 830 pupils. And the majority of our pupils are not allowed off-site either, so you've got a captive audience. And I think that had been missed here somehow. I actually want to improve the facility that we have here in the catering and be able to offer much better service for our students.
Working closely with catering manager Laverne Armstrong, Kerry's solution to improving the pupils' diet is to take the catering in-house.
I've had a lot of experience in the catering business, not necessarily in schools, but all sorts of catering businesses. And I understand what needs to be done, because you're managing the day-to-day running of the kitchen every day anyway, so it's just a different manager. Kerry's there to oversee the more the financial things.
Is Laverne looking forward to the new system?
When you're with contract catering companies, it's not, you don't have much flexibility to do your own thing. You have to do what comes from above. And with Kerry, we can work together and do what the school wants.
So what do the pupils want?
I'd like to see more pasta and jacket potatoes and maybe vegetables introduced. I'd like the price to be lower so then more people would buy the food.
I'd like to see more, jacket potatoes and fillings and basically stuff which you can go in and tell that it's healthy.
So do you want to lead me through the budget?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a look at this at the moment is the indicative budget that we've been given. We're unlikely to get the full budget now. They're talking for about another 2 weeks. We've looked at
It's 2:30 and Kerry is having one of her regular meetings with the head teacher. Every business manager needs to work closely with their head teacher, and Kerry's no exception.
But it does give us a general idea on some of the issues that we'll be looking at as we set the budget over the next 12 months.
The benefits of having a business manager in school are numerous. She can help me plan major projects and start collecting money for those projects, because we can then apply to the authority for match funding. So all of that information is extremely helpful.
Yes, and that can be written in now. We can sort of fill that line in.
It's nearly the end of the school day and Kerry has one more meeting to attend.
Katie was discussing paying ourselves a bonus as well as splitting it between the shareholders.
Yeah, because we haven't yet paid ourselves.
We haven't,
We haven't paid ourselves for the whole of the year, so therefore we've been working for nothing.
I don't work at anything less than £10 an hour.
Over the past 3 months, Kerry has been working once a week with the Young Business Enterprise Group, helping them to develop their business acumen. It's their final session and they're deciding how to divide up their profits.
We should just go with giving ourselves a salary and then make sure that once we divide it up, we don't give shareholders less than the money they pay.
Yeah, that's a good
Do you mean
idea.
less or more than money?
Less. We
Don't give them any
give them
less,
back
yeah.
anything less than they put in.
Right, fair enough.
Because we've got the money to do that and probably more.
No, I think we had everything ready for the trade fair to go ahead. We had the displays
for the boards, and we had the prize draw going, all ready to set up, but unfortunately didn't go ahead because of snow. So yeah.
All of your events made a profit.
Yeah, they all made a profit.
You haven't lost on anything that you've done.
Besides earning some cash, what did the pupils learn from this experience?
The most important thing I learned was how to keep track of money when there's so much of it within a business, when everybody's got a little bit of it, and trying to keep it all in one place, and records of where it's being spent and where it's going.
It's inspired me because I've never ever done anything to do with business really, so it's been a learning experience for me as well.
It's the end of the school day, but not all of the pupils have gone home.
Basically, put him on and turn it, and he's on. The pad.
After school, site manager Chris Brown is giving a training session. These two pupils are just part of the cleaning workforce.
Okay, then start it up.
This innovative approach means wages for the pupils and a good solution to the school's cleaning problem for Kerry.
And then you just do that in a motion. Do you want to have a go? Obviously, make sure the cable's behind you. Yeah.
Our cleaning was in such a terrible state. We had contractors in that had obviously had problems with recruitment. And instead of having a team of 11 or 12 cleaners, we would frequently with 3, 5, sometimes 6 on a good day, which meant that the cleaning just was not being carried out as it should have been, and the teachers were having to teach in dirty rooms. So we decided that we had to do something about it, and the best way was if we managed it ourselves. We've pulled the workforce from the sixth formers, and you can see we've got a couple of the girls here. They have made up a team. We've got over about 26 of them all together. We're no longer having to pay out on a monthly basis large fees to contract cleaners. Of course, we've got staffing, and those costs are there regardless. Initial setup costs were fairly high, but it's far more effective and far more best value now that we're getting out of our cleaning provision. I'd like to think that the contribution that I personally make to the school is obviously the running of a budget, the facilities. Those are all black and white things that I do. But I'm very supportive of the rest of the senior leadership team. I come with a fresh perspective, so I'll say, but why are we doing that? And it makes other people stop and think sometimes, and so it enables us all to move on. It's time for me to go home now. The people that work in schools, we all have the same aim. You know, it's one school, it's one staff, and it's one vision.